Thank you. Good afternoon. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you all for supporting us by being here on this auspicious occasion. As we mark the second anniversary of the launch of the Pearl Initiative, it is truly a great pleasure to speak to you here today. 2 years ago, in this very room at the United Nations headquarters, we followed in the footsteps of many giants who graced the storied building, or perhaps, as Newton said, we stood on their shoulders. The Pearl Initiative may start from a much more modest place than the great institutions like the World Bank, the Human Rights Committee, or ECOSOC, but within it are exactly the same principles, a progressive vision for changing our world through collective endeavor, determination, and hope. To this end, we laid out a new approach to improving corporate transparency, accountability, and business practices in the Gulf region of the Middle East. The challenges were great. Financial losses and value destruction from bad corporate practices in developing countries are estimated to be in the many hundreds of billions of dollars annually, while the global financial crisis, severely damaging to developed and emerging economies alike, was at the time entering its third year. Yet we were confident that the Pearl Initiative could succeed, and with good reason. Crucially, our approach recognizes the fact that the private sector is ultimately fueled by incentive. If corporations are to embrace good governance as part of the very fabric of their business models, and not simply for a quick public relations boost, then they must be persuaded that it makes business sense to invest in good governance, and therefore they must expect a worthwhile return on their investments. So the Pearl Initiative was developed by the private sector for the private sector, and our goal was and remains to demonstrate that good governance enables long-term direct value creation. Above all, we endeavored never to lose sight of our original vision. The Pearl Initiative has been modeled on the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact, including commitments to uphold human rights, fair labor practices, environmental responsibility, and to fight against corruption in all of its forms. As we mark our second anniversary, the global economic climate remains somber, but the Pearl Initiative has achieved much in a short period of time. In October 2011, at the Middle East Summit, we launched a joint regional Partnering Against Corruption Initiative, or PACI, with the World Economic Forum. We have succeeded in encouraging many business leaders to sign up to the PACI principles and commit to countering bribery, reinforcing and raising awareness of the business case for action against corruption, and spreading the implementation of good corporate anti-corruption practices across the Gulf region. Between last December and April of this year, we held numerous roundtable seminars in Dubai, Riyadh, Doha, and Bahrain, in which more than 1,000 chief executives and senior professionals participated. They represented private companies, public companies, and government institutions alike. We will also be working closely with the United Nations Development Programme, the UNDP, to progress the regional anti-corruption agenda and engage the private sector in this reform process. In May this year, we held a CEO summit on ethical leadership in Abu Dhabi under the patronage and in the presence of our esteemed chair, His Highness Sheikh Nahyan bin Barak Al Nahyan, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research in the UAE. Professor Muhammad Yunus, the founder of the Grameen Bank and winner of the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize, led the day's discussion, after which 70 business and government leaders engaged in wide-ranging roundtable discussions on the subject. Our program on integrated reporting is in collaboration with His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales's Accountability for Sustainability project. We are holding awareness-raising sessions around the region in order to introduce the concepts and benefits of integrated reporting and thereby incentivizing good practices. We've also launched a regional network through which interested organizations can gain knowledge, benefit from mutual support, and share their experiences. Good morning, Amir. As part of our knowledge creation program, we are in the process of publishing research on regional corporate good practices in the implementation of integrity-related policies and integrated reporting, with contributions from MBA students from the Judge Business School at the University of Cambridge in collaboration with students from the American University of Sharjah. What's more, at the American University of Sharjah and other prominent universities across the Gulf region, we're running private sector-led interactive workshops and curriculum development for thousands of students in key areas of ethics, integrity, leadership, and corporate governance. We continue to grow our network of partner companies across the GCC, attracting business leaders who share our vision. Business leaders who are committed to concrete and collaborative action to demonstrate the long-term benefits of transparency, good governance, and corporate responsibility, and in turn spurring economic competitiveness. So far, we have signed partnership agreements with 29 private sector partners, including leading companies in sectors ranging from banking to transport and from oil and gas to auditing. Our board of governors comprises 17 distinguished business leaders from across the whole Gulf region. Our mission has always been to be a truly regional initiative, and today we have strong representation in every country in the region through our partners and our esteemed board members. Now, these are just a few of the examples of concrete progress made by the Pearl Initiative since its conception. But the past is the past, so what of the future? It's imperative that we continue to build upon and expand all we have done over these past 2 years. We envisage an environment in which current and future business leaders see corporate accountability and transparency as key pillars of business success. We will catalyze action and enhance corporate capability to develop and implement better business practices, and we are determined to be the leading private sector organization for influencing and improving business behavior in the Arab world. To turn this vision into reality, we have identified 5 specific goals that we will strive to achieve over the coming months and years. First, we seek to develop and publish at least 2 Arab World Insight-led reports annually on the current situation, trends, and good practices, making recommendations on topics of corporate governance, transparency, accountability, and responsible business practices. Second, together with the United Nations and other global and regional knowledge partner organizations, we will drive forward collaborative action initiatives on these key topics. Third, we will hold at least 12 roundtable experience sharing forums per year across the Gulf region for our board members and executives of partner companies, family firms, listed conglomerates, public sector organizations, as well as government-owned entities. Fourth, we tend to hold at least 6 interactive business-led workshops per year for students at leading universities across the GCC. And finally, we aim to grow the Pearl Initiative by more than doubling our membership base to at least 70 full corporate partners by the end of 2012. Now, more than ever, in a period of such economic instability in the broader Middle East and many other regions of the world, it is crucial that companies prioritize good business practices to foster a stable business climate. The potential upside is enormous. I've got some competition here, so I'll speak louder. The potential upside is enormous. The Gulf region makes up more than 2/3 of the economy in the entire Middle East and is one of the fastest growing regions in the world. But many foreign investors have been frightened away by the uncertainty surrounding the so-called Arab Spring. Good governance is imperative to rebuilding trust and forging new relationships. The Arab world's enormous young population is struggling with an oversupply of prospective employees in a market with few available jobs. Employment generation is key to the youth of the Arab world and the future of the Gulf region, and a large part of the solution lies with the private sector. Businesses, together with government and civil society and public-private partnerships, have a vital role in delivering innovative solutions to this growing problem. And this is where the Pearl Initiative gets involved. We're working with our private sector partners and universities around the region to help improve and encourage employment generation. We have an obligation to protect the future of our youth and in turn that of the region as a whole. Corporate accountability and transparency are essential to generating and preserving value, to building a healthy and competitive global business environment. Through collaborative stakeholder engagement and joint corporate action, and in a short space of time, the Pearl Initiative is having a positive impact on the business environment, fostering competitive economic growth, sustainable social development, and spurring job creation. As we sit here in the United Nations, an institution which has given us the Bretton Woods Twins, the Global Human Rights and Refugee Protection Structure, the Conventions on Women and the Rights of the Child, it can be very humbling. With the 67th General Assembly meetings taking place right now, I am again vividly reminded of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals, the goals at the very heart of initiatives such as the Pearl Initiative. I'm truly grateful to, and of course inspired by, all the individuals and businesses who have come together over the past 2 years, people and companies working tirelessly together to begin to realize our vision. And of course, extremely grateful to His Highness Dr. Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi for his leadership and his support in being our founding patron. We at the Pearl Initiative would like to extend a huge thanks to the United Nations Office of Partnerships for its continued support and exemplary leadership which paves the way for our work. A special thanks to Roland Rich, the officer in charge at the United Nations Office of Partnerships, for his support and specifically his kind cooperation in helping us organize this special event today. A big thank you, of course, to all of our distinguished speakers who have really taken the time from their incredibly busy schedules to share some of their pearls of wisdom with us here today. I'd also personally like to thank my dear friend Amir Dosal for his patronage of the Pearl Initiative from day one. Your input, Amir, is greatly valued and appreciated by all. And I'd also like to thank our Executive Director, Imelda Dunlop, Robin van Peerenbroek, and the rest of the Pearl Initiative team for all their incredibly hard work in making today the occasion it is, and of course making the Pearl Initiative what it is today. We are now very much on our way. We have laid the groundwork, built the foundations, and are ready to reach for the sky. The summit, to round off my metaphor, will be spectacular when we get there. There is a proud and strong purpose behind this journey. Who could doubt that there are formidable obstacles to overcome and that there is a great deal at stake? We are speaking of nothing less than the future development of the Arab world and its 400 million people. But today, as we mark the Pearl Initiative's second anniversary, I'm exceptionally proud of its achievements so far and very excited about its future. I'd like to reiterate my heartfelt appreciation to everybody who has been a part of getting this off the ground these past 2 years, and express again how much I look forward to continuing our essential journey. Thank you all.